Hey all, I'm Ian from Eurogamer, and this is Killzone Shadowfall on the PlayStation 4. Our very own Ollie Welsh has just returned from playing the game at the offices of developer Guerrilla in Amsterdam, and I've got his impressions to share with you, along with this brand spanking new footage of the game's campaign. The first thing that strikes you about Killzone Shadowfall is, of course, the graphics. After all, this is our very first taste of a AAA action game made exclusively for a next-gen console. The game displays at a crisp 1080p resolution, the detail in the environment is off the charts, the world is vibrant and colourful, and the lighting is really beautiful. Guerrilla's artists say that they're changing their approach on the new console. They're getting the PS4 to simulate materials like cloth or effects like dust and wind, rather than having to handcraft them. It's a subtle difference, but in the long run it could prove to be a big one for the next-gen games. And it works very well with Killzone's style of realistic science fiction. The audio is terrific too. Gunshots reverberate around the environment, an effect Guerrilla simulated by bouncing tennis balls off dozens of different surfaces and playing the sound back simultaneously, mixed according to what's nearby when you fire. Whilst it's true that there's not much in the game that couldn't have been done at all on a PS3, it certainly wouldn't have looked this sharp or played this solidly, or felt this real. But we expected all of this from Guerrilla. What's more surprising is that there's a lot more to Shadowfall than just the pretties. The team at Guerrilla only had 2.5 years to learn their way around the new console and make a launch game, but that wasn't the only challenge they set themselves. They decided to take Killzone back to the drawing board as well. The setting, 30 years on from Killzone 3, moves us from World War II in space to the sci-fi equivalent of Berlin during the Cold War. ISA and the Helghast live side by side in a city divided by a massive wall. The atmosphere has changed from all-out wartime action to intrigue and high tension. Shadowfall has a more distinct personality that's less like Call of Duty in the future.
Good.
To keep you feeling involved, all the story scenes now play out in first person, from the perspective of your character, Lucas Kellen, a shadow marshal. And instead of designing their own characters and slapping a famous actor's voice on them, Guerrilla is now using performance capture and the likenesses of TV actors. This is David Harwood from Homeland.
They have to know that we are strong. We have to show them. We're sending you in as a refugee, using the deportation as cover. Once you're on the other side, you'll make contact with an informant, codenamed Zeus. He'll give you Tyrann's location. Find him and execute. Then make your way to the extraction site. We have been given an opportunity, Lucas. An opportunity to convince everyone we are right. You see what they're like. These people are animals. All of them. The threat is real. It's not just on the other side. It's come here, to our home. We must defend it at all costs.
The most important part, though, is how the gameplay has changed. Check out these different approaches to a single level, where you need to rescue hostages taken by a Halgan terrorist.
Sir, suspects are holed up in the room below. Ready to breach through the pool skylight on your go. We can breach right now or find another entry point. Your call, sir.
Hostiles alerted. Entry team cleared to breach.
Move! I see your target. That hostage with us.
Go!
Managed to get the grid offline.
Located their transmission gear. No sign of Tyrion.
Roger. No change on hostiles. They're holding positions.
The levels are now much larger and more open, with a number of different approaches to each encounter with the enemy. And your Shadow Marshal has a lot more tactical options. You can scan the environment for enemies and slow time with a shot of adrenaline, and you're accompanied by an owl drone that can stun or suppress enemies, shield you, heal you, hack terminals, and create ziplines. It's hardly revolutionary stuff, but it's fun to play with, and it takes Killzone away from the corridor shooters that have dominated the last few years. It now has more of the sandbox gameplay of Halo, as well as some elements from stealth games like Dishonored or Deus Ex.
You have to help me. They take my wife to another room.
Oh, we'll help the other. Help!
Eric Bolches, the lead designer on Shadowfall, has a background in multiplayer game design. It really shows in the open maps and the focus on fun game systems rather than big, bombastic action. For our money, it's a change for the better. For more on multiplayer, you can check out my recent interview with Eric, with a focus on tight map design and customizable game modes that seems just as fun as the campaign.
Roger, 2-1. Updating perimeter call signs.
Transmitting.
This is Tulsa. I want that emitter found. Get that off the air, now!
You've got to admire Guerrilla for not playing it safe with their first attempt at a PS4 game. Killzone Shadowfall isn't going to change the world, but for a launch title it seems really solid, and for the Killzone series it's definitely a step in the right direction. If you're looking for a game to show off your PS4 with, start here.
Hostiles down. Bedroom's clear.
Thanks for watching Next Gen fans. If you want to see more, please do subscribe to Eurogamer by clicking on that on-screen annotation. We've got plenty more Next Gen coverage coming up alongside the usual live streams, exclusive interviews and early gameplay previews. Goodbye bye.
They're coming back! I don't care what you're gonna do, just get me out of here!